Good morning. Happy Solstice on Sunday. Nothing about what I'm about to say or where I'm sitting makes any sense right now. I've got my Christmas mug because I am that girl. I love Christmas decorations and all the Christmas stuff. I'm sitting outside in a t-shirt. It feels like summer. And, but yet there's, again, still so much wobbliness going on in this world of ours. And, right when you think, or I feel like I think I'm getting a grip on it, something else happens and I'm just thrown again. And so then I just started thinking, in these little chats that I'm doing with you are probably more soulful and filling for myself. Is I just thought I'd talk about that crazy wobbliness and how do I keep trying to ground myself. And this year I've have this mantra that I've adopted and I really, really like, and maybe you might like it too. It's actually really old, and you sit in this position like this when you sit to meditate or just be in the space. And what this is, it has a lot of different, I've heard it in different ways, and this way it's resonated best with me. And this hand here is to give love, to give. And that's where I want to be. I want to be able to give support and compassion and love to everybody in my world or who I touch base with. At the same time, I want to be able to stand in my truth and speak my truth and have the courage to say what I feel like I need to say. It doesn't have to affect you or anybody else. And I then work on respecting your wishes and where you are and where your desires are and where your boundaries are. And the same goes for mine. Rene Brown first said it to me where it makes probably the most resonance with me. It is a strong back, soft heart. Strong back, soft heart. And so I keep trying to work in that space at this moment in my life. And it's having compassion. You're doing the best you can, understanding that everybody is doing the best they can. And then over here is, Andrea, what really resonates with you? What grounds you? What feels most soulful and most true to myself, where I'm not betraying myself? And I think when I have betrayed myself in the past, it feels very wobbly. It feels not that good uncomfortable when you're kind of stretching, building some muscle, building some courage muscle. More that uncomfortable that deep down it's not the best decision for me, but maybe I'm doing it to please other people. Maybe I'm doing it because people expect it of me. Maybe I'm doing it because I have understood that is what I'm supposed to do. And now I'm at this place like this. I love you. I respect you. I appreciate you. You do you. I'm going to do me. And if everybody did that, just think about that. Like if we all just did that, doesn't that kind of make a lot of sense? There's no judgment, right? I'm doing me. You're doing you. Mwah. There's respect. There's love. You're not betraying yourself. You're standing in your truth and you're taking the time to listen. So then I started thinking, okay, when life gets really wobbly, and I've started doing this, which has made my world a little wobbly around me, and those individuals close to me don't necessarily like that change. I have to keep figuring out how to ground myself. And I've talked about this before. This is where Soul Sips came from, is that I love to sit in the morning with my coffee, if now or normally now I put my little fire on, and or in the summer I was outside here and just listening and just quieting down. And the other couple things I've talked to you about before, in which I'm sure you're doing too, is that I put my ears in, I turn my phone off, I go for a walk, I try more and more to get out, I'm hiking more, taking on different little adventures that way. I've actually, it's the funniest thing this morning. Even this morning I started talking to my dog. It was, it's such a gorgeous day. And I just said, "Oh, B, I just love you." And that feeling, regardless of who, where, how you're giving it to, of that gratitude and love, it spreads, it calms you. So maybe finding that, and what is that? And maybe it's something you never thought you'd do, be. Who cares? You get to change. You get to do you. The other part, besides the music, going for walking, I really do get myself quite soulful and grounded with music, is yoga. And again, I've always had a thought on yoga. 2 years ago, I just did not understand yoga at all. It's about stretching. It's about breathing. It's about centering yourself. There's no strict structured thing to go with yoga. You can just do whatever feels good for you. You can do it beside your bed. You can do it on your bed. You can do it on your deck. You can do it, I don't know, your bathroom floor, wherever you need to. But probably the biggest thing is to find some quiet space so you can breathe, so you can allow yourself to hold the stretches and just kind of escape. And that's what meditation is as well. So, and then of course there's meditation, and again, meditation isn't this big ruled thing either. It's just quieting yourself, trying to quiet your mind, allowing your heart and your soul to talk, and shutting that baby off for a little bit. Those expectations and those those things that we thought we were always supposed to do, that you're supposed to do. I don't know about that. And the last thing that I really wanted to share with you, though, today is, over the years, there have been different authors that, I must say, Instagram makes so fantastic, because I can get even more of a piece of who they are, or so I feel I can. And there's certain authors that have just been what I call game-changing humans in my life. And as I started thinking about talking to you today, I thought, you know what is it about all of these women who have written words that I've gone, oh my God, me too. Oh my God, I felt that way. Oh my God, I lived that. You lived that. How is it? And it's that much more of a locking in for me that we all really are living a similar life. We're all connected by this thread, this golden thread of love and self-love, and trying to, live our best life. And that happens, right, with this. So I just wanted to share these people with you. And I've also, on our website, soulsystemnation.com, I have a slew of books that I've also done a video on for a variety of reasons, that and I explain them a little bit. So if you'd like them, go and check that out. But here are some of my tops. Now, my biggest game changer, and this is going to be an interesting one. It's broken open. I even have a coffee stain on it, and it's like well read. I love this book. This is Elizabeth Lesser. She's great. She's one of the co-founders of the Omega Institute, where they do piles of workshops and retreats in I think it's New York or New Hampshire. Regardless, brave. And this woman, as with the other women that I'm going to talk to you about today, was courageous. She stepped out. She talked about her pain. She talked about what she meant, shameful experiences. She talks about going through divorce. But what I loved about this, and stepping out and rising. She talks about the phoenix and, you know, going into the fire and rising. And I really liked this book, particularly because they were short stories, and I could just read 3 to 5 pages, and they were relative to what was going on in my life, or they weren't, and I just really, really enjoyed that. So Elizabeth Lesser, she also has a more recent book out called Cassandra, and it is phenomenal, but this would be a starter for that one. The next one would have been Rene Brown. I've talked a lot about her. In this book in particular, Daring Greatly was the biggest one for me. And this was the beginning of talking about vulnerability to the depths that we need to park shame. And how we park shame is by being vulnerable and courageous to speak our truth. And some of that's about letting go and being really honest, owning your shit. And she's Rene Brown. I can't speak enough about Rene Brown. What I also love about Rene Brown is that she's so grounded and so down to earth. She talks about, you know, well, actually all these women do. They all talk about, yeah, I screwed up. Yeah, I did this or I did that. And these are moments when we all can relate to, and again, it puts that commonality that we're all the same. Nobody is up here, nobody's down there. We're all just doing our thing, right? We're all just doing our thing. And when we do that, wow, what a concept. This one, again, I don't really like covers. Untamed. Glennon Doyle talked about this book. She came out this book in particular came out right when the pandemic began, and it is phenomenal. Short stories again. She gets raw and vulnerable, and she's courageous, and she talks about it, and it makes sense. It's us. We're just humans doing our best, taking the next, I think she says, taking the next right step. I think that's her biggie. She has great analogies and just phenomenal. And again, that short bit, I remember I've had different moments in my life when I couldn't quite focus too much on too much detail. So these shorter chapters, when there's stories that I can kind of resonate with, it's just the feeling when you feel like you're alone, right? And you're like, I'm going through this and I'm dredging through my mud and my ditches and feeling really, really shitty. It's realizing that other people have gone through it too, and it doesn't make you feel it's crazy. It helps you stand a little bit, and that's what all of this is about, is sharing our stories and really being honest. Enough of the, how are you? I'm fine. Fine. You good? I'm fine too. You know, everybody's just so freaking fine. And the last one, well, actually, the other one that I didn't bring outside is Sue Monk Kidd. She has written multiple books, and she just pushes the envelope, and really great. The Life of Bees was a book that I read in a movie that I actually loved, and I wrote out all the quotes and everything. Didn't even realize what it was all about, but it was the beginning of my awakening over 10 years ago, and that was just phenomenal. And since then, she's written many books, and really great, courageous, gutsy women. And Maureen Murdoch, she wrote about the heroine's journey, and that recently has just been like a game-changing book for me. If you're ever curious about your path, or wondering why you don't fit in, or what really makes you just keep grinding, I always would talk about it. I was always on this treadmill of life and go. and no time to stop, no time to think, no time to feel, and just living off of other people's expectations and the expectations you put on yourself. That's Maureen Murdoch. Amazing. And then lastly, light and fluffy. I love this woman's writing. I grab them all the way, always quickly, and so excited when she has a new book, and she just whips them off, and it just takes me away. And sometimes I just do that. So like, you just like everything else is happening around you, and you read one of these, and you just keep reading, and it's like, yeah, kids, get dinner. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay in bed and read. If you have that time, or you need to just check right out, do it for yourself, because sometimes we do. Sometimes that's all just part of, replenishing and taking care of yourself. And we just need to stop being so hard on ourselves. Just go with it. Just do the best you can. So kind of going back to the beginning, with this coming, as a mom, I'm always a little bit like, excited. But then it's like this pressure. I always have these things, these expectations that I put on myself as to what I've always done with my kids and what Christmas needs to look like, and traditions and all that jazz, which I've talked about before. 2020, if it's anything, it's about breaking a lot. Habits, routines, traditions, expectations, so much, right? Maybe it's time that we really start just taking care of ourselves. This one. Stand in your truth. Focus on yourself, because when we do that, it just has this ripple effect with all of those other humans around us. Take care. Happy Soul Sips on Sunday. Enjoy.